Ahoy, brew! Good to see ya, brew! Cheers, brew! I can't do this accent thing anymore. Let's just start the video. What's going on, you guys? It's Boaz here with Airsoft GI, and we are making another return to the Tactical Gearhead series. And as you may have noticed, I'm not wearing a traditional modernized kit. This is, as the title of the video has already told you, this is an inspired loadout of the famous movie Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. So if you guys were not old enough to have watched Blood Diamond when it came out in theaters, certainly I was not also when it came out. It came out around 2006. It is available, I believe, on some streaming sites online, so I do highly recommend it as a film buff, as a movie nerd, I guess you would say. It is a really good movie. It's very emotional, it's very moving, and it also has a lot of really cool action sequences kind of scattered throughout the movie. Now, the main character in this movie, his name is Danny Archer. He's played by Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a mercenary in this country called Sierra Leone in Africa, and it takes place around the 1990s. So there's like this big civil war going on, and there's a bunch of different warring factions, and Leonardo DiCaprio is just trying to make it in this country, and he basically stumbles upon this father and son duo trying to escape the country, and they have with them a very precious kind of diamond that they stole that a lot of these different warring factions are kind of looking for. And Leonardo DiCaprio is kind of forced to reconnect with his humanity and help this family out, basically. Well, one of the things I've noticed recently throughout the past couple years or so is that retro guns and retro loadouts are coming back, and for a variety of different reasons that we'll get into in a bit. But there is a really famous, iconic shootout scene at the end of the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio is using a really cool looking Car-15. I just wanted to recreate the loadout and see if we can take this out onto the airsoft field. Starting out in Tactical Gearhead's fashion, we're going to go from head to toe, and this is not anything that's really movie or film accurate. This is just for the sake of playing airsoft, which you need safety equipment. So up here on my eyes over here from my eye pro, I have the ASG, I believe they're called the Strike goggles. These are actually really nice. They seal up really nice. They're pretty low profile, so it's not super bulky, and it is really good when it comes to resisting fog. And I actually personally have a pair of these as well. And then on top of my head, I have a D14 cap, D14 Airsoft. Shout out to you guys. You guys are great. If you guys are in Texas, check them out. Just to kind of keep all my hair organized in a way. And for some reason, I just think that like with Airsoft, you kind of need headgear. I don't know what it is, like aesthetically. Like if you just run like goggles without a hat or like a helmet, it just looks weird. And then for my lower face, I'm not wearing it right now just because I just don't want to, but I have the Lance Tactical mesh mask here to protect my lower face. Now, if you are one of those really brave souls that don't want to wear lower mesh mask because it doesn't look cool, at the very minimum, buy like a mouth guard from like a sporting goods store on Amazon. Like, you don't want to get your teeth shot out. I've had friends who haven't worn lower face pro and they get their teeth shot out. So make sure you do, at the very minimum, mouth guard. But if you want to be safe, get one of these. Moving down to my shirt, this is probably the most outstanding piece of kit, I guess, which is going to be a Condor Class B men's shirt, I believe in brown. I think this is like kind of like that, your typical like park ranger, sheriff, I guess, kind of shirt. I just found it just because it looks pretty similar to what Leo wears in the movie for Blood Diamond. He has this kind of like khaki cargo kind of shirt. This one's actually really nice just because it does have buttons, but it's just like for the aesthetic. They're not real buttons, and it zips up and down. So if you don't want to wear like a chest rig or whatever, you just want to keep it bare bones as possible, this is just a tiny little extra bit of protection when you're running around on the field. Like if you wear an undershirt underneath and you wear this over, you zip it up, it'll be pretty cool. Or if you want to be, I guess, very movie accurate when you run around on the field, you just unzip it, just wear an undershirt and you're good to go. Now underneath my shirt, I'm running a chest rig. Now again, not movie accurate, but just for airsoft purposes only, because if you're gonna play long games, you're gonna need ammo. And if you don't wanna run a chest rig or whatever and stick true to the movie, I mean, I applaud you, you're pretty cool for that, but feels bad when you run out of ammo. So the chest rig that I chose is an OD green chest rig by DEFCON, and I believe it's one of the more affordable options on our website. Now, this is a very easy, simple to use chest rig. You just adjust the straps, the shoulder straps and stuff to your size, and then you put it on and you're good to go. There's no molly weaving or any assembly that you have to do out of the box. It's, again, very simple. So up here, I have 4 integrated AK magazine pouches. I believe that they are double mag pouches, so you should be able to fit basically 8 M4 magazines or AK magazines or whatever have you. I think if you really tried hard enough, just because of how much slack is in these pouches, maybe you could cram like 3 per pouch. But anyway, 8 magazines is more than enough to get you through any day play, especially if you're running like mid caps or even high caps for that matter. If you run high caps on all these, you're never gonna have to top off for your game. So other than that, it just has 2 side utility pouches over here on the side. Whatever else you might need. If you want to run extra batteries, you can. If you want to run like a dead rag, highly recommend doing that. And if you need to bring like an extra bottle of BBs or water, you can do that. So yes, everything that you pretty much need here on the chest. I am running this a little higher up on my chest. Normally I would kind of like to have it a couple inches more lower, just because it's more comfortable, but I had to run this a little higher on my chest just because I am running a sidearm on a hip holster. A couple other features I like to mention about the DEF CON chest rig that adds value to it is, number one, it has a foam backed liner in the back, so I guess they kind of sewed in some foam in between the layers of the fabric. And so what that does is it makes it a little bit more of a rigid platform. I do really like that, just because if you just use cheaper chest rigs, a lot of the times they're very thin and they kind of like twist and kind of warp with you, and that like it doesn't create a very stable platform for you to reload off of. So I actually kind of enjoy that feature a lot, just having that little piece of foam in between the layers of fabric. And up here on the top, you have a map pouch. So if you have maps, especially for longer games or bigger games that they give you maps, you can put maps, you can put snacks, maybe some Skittles, I don't know. But it's there, you can have it, more features. Moving down to the belt line, I am running a belt. Now, it's not some crazy high-speed, belt or modernized belt. It is a very simple belt, and in the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio just runs just a regular leather belt. But I personally don't know how long that'll last on an airsoft field. I just ran with a Condor instructor's belt. It is a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more solid. It's made out of pretty stiff nylon, and it has a nice metal buckle here in the middle to kind of help support any weight that you're loading onto your belt. Now here on the side, on my right hand, I'm running a Condor OD holster. It's one of those universal holsters where it can hold pretty much almost any handgun that you throw at it. Now, I chose a hip holster over a drop leg just because I personally don't like drop legs. I don't like having to negotiate with the leg straps as I run, and I generally just don't like the feeling of weighing my legs down as I move. So I just chose a Molly hip holster instead. And in my holster, I have the very movie correct USB Compact by KWA. This is actually a really fantastic handgun. This is one of the first actual airsoft pistols that I've owned, and it's done me really well. I really do miss it. I wish I could have a USB Compact again. But the magazine release is really great. It's HK style, so it's not a button, it's a lever. So it drops a magazine with the lever. It has a double action hammer here, so even if you don't have the hammer cocked back, you can still activate and shoot the gun. And it has a manual safety and decocker, and it is all around just a really fun shooting gun. And again, this is what Leo uses in the movie, so I have to have it. And on my left side, I am running 2 Molly OD green colored M4 magazine pouches. They're just single magazine pouches. They just hold 1 mag each. This is a good option, especially if you want to do a faster reload. Personally, for me, I just like reaching down onto my hip line for ammo anyway. That's just the way that I've been playing airsoft for all these years. If you are in a pinch and if you run out of all 8 magazines on your chest rig, you still have 2 here on your hip that you could have access to. And especially if you guys don't want to run the chest rig and go completely movie accurate and ditch this thing entirely, oh, you're gonna need these 2 extra mag pouches for sure. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about the gun. First things first, what is this gun? Now, this is a gun that we have actually featured in a review in the past. This is the ENC XM177, or the Car 15 colloquially. This is pretty much the exact model that, again, Leo uses in the movie, and it's been painted up by yours truly, and I try to keep it as close as possible to the movie itself. Obviously, I had to pick a lot of frame grabs and like freeze frame the gun whenever it does make an appearance, and try my best to paint it up using olive drab, of course, olive green, with the khaki and the brown, the reddish brown. And here on the included flash hider, that comes with the ENC. I sprayed a little bit of black on it and also took a blowtorch to it and kind of burned it just to make it look semi-realistic, just to kind of show that it has some use. I really love rattle can paint jobs, honestly. For the most part, I'm just not brave enough to do it to any of my own guns, but just having the nice like rugged spray paint, and especially when it starts to wear down, like it's already starting to wear a little bit here on a lot of like the highly touched or move around and moving parts of the gun. And as you continue to use it, it's going to continue to wear and add even more flavor and character to the gun. And as you can see, I did put some accessories on it, but not too much. I believe this is a UTG optics riser or optics mount adapter for a carrying handle, and it allows you to run an optic, obviously. So over here we have a Lancer Tactical red dot sight over here, and this one actually does come with an included laser pointer, which I'm not going to use, but you know, just to have it, I guess. This one does come in red and green dot options, so whatever color preference you like. And I really like this carrying handle optic situation here, just because when you aim it up, it actually puts your head at a very natural angle. And in fact, nowadays, that's sort of where a lot of the trendy shooters nowadays, that's what they're kind of gravitating towards, is that carrying handle height. So as we mentioned previously, if you guys have watched our previous content, this carrying handle optic situation is the same height as the Unity risers. So whatever Unity riser or high-rise optics that you guys own or want to use or have, it pretty much mirrors that pretty much one-to-one. And so the benefit, obviously the added benefit, is not having to crane your neck down in order to get a sight picture, but you just bring the gun up and your neck is and your head is at a very natural position, and you get a sight picture that way. And one of the added benefits actually of this carrying handle adapter is there's actually a cutout hole here on the rail. So if your optic goes down, if it dies, or if it gets shot or whatever, you can actually still have access to your traditional iron sights. Up here on the front of the gun, I do have a flashlight. Now, if you guys are pulling up screenshots or screen grabs of the Blood Diamond Car 15 as you're watching this video, or if you remembered the gun in the movie, you're gonna notice that the flashlight is on the wrong side of the gun. In the movie, I believe that the Car 15 has the flashlight here on the right side of the gun instead. The main reason why I did that is because I'm not running a pressure pad. If I did have a pressure pad, I can just like tape a pressure pad on top of the handguard or somewhere where it's easily accessible for me to activate the flashlight. Unfortunately, the flashlight we chose did not come with a pressure pad. So this flashlight over here is the Osman 1000 lumen flashlight. It's pretty bright. It's probably one of the better Airsoft flashlights out there. This is mounted to an NC Star barrel mounted flashlight holder. I really like the idea of mounting a flashlight onto your barrel, just because it pushes the flashlight out a bit more. Obviously there's no Picatinny rails over here, but if there was and you had to mount it direct to Picatinny, you know, you're gonna be kind of hard pressed for space for holding your gun comfortably. It allows me to activate the flashlight with my left thumb instead, whereas if it was on the right side of the gun, I'd have to activate it with my right index finger, which would be very uncomfortable. Now the flashlight itself does have a momentary on and off switch here, or button here, that you could just lightly press for when you need the light, and then you can let go whenever you don't need it. And on the sides of the rear of the flashlight, there's actually 2 strobe buttons. So if you really want to strobe someone out, you can, which is pretty cool. Now the final accessory that I put on this gun what is the Condor Speedy 2-point sling in OD green. This is probably one of my favorite Condor slings out there, just because of how simple it is, and it works really, really well. Now here on the back there's a sling loop, so I've looped the sling around and I've wrapped whatever excess webbing material with some electrical tape. You guys can also just cut and with the lighter carefully burn the end so it doesn't fray, if that's what you guys are into, but I just think the electrical tape just adds a lot more character to the gun. I did that on the rear and on the front, and then I looped some paracord over here around the triangle sight because there's no front sling mount, because the flashlight holder kind of forces you to remove it. Nice. Let's cut that. Now, one of the added benefits of the Speedy 2-point sling that I love about Condor is that they have this really convenient pull tab. So there's this little tab of fabric right here. So if you literally just pull it towards you to loosen it, or you pull it away from you to tighten it, which is actually a very common feature that you'll see in a lot of modernized 2-point slings. And I just think that the sling looks really perfect for this gun, because obviously having a modernized sling will kind of make the gun look a little weird, a little out of place, but this sling itself just looks simple and good enough to where you can kind of justify it, you know, existing in the 1990s. But it has, again, the modern feature of a seamless, nice pull tab. Now, if you really want to be accurate, a lot of people back in the day, what they did with their CAR-15s or their other retro guns was to run canteen slings, actually. Leather canteen slings around the rifle, but obviously it's pretty uncomfortable, not practical, and we have better sling solutions out there, so which is why I picked this one out. Now, if you guys have watched the performance on the review of the ENC CAR-15 on our YouTube channel, you probably noticed that the performance on it out of the box it's okay. And I definitely can use some work or some love. So our world-class tech department decided to throw in a CNC Productions high-speed motor in here to amp up the rate of fire as well as the trigger response. They put in an LCT Type 4 inner barrel here as well as a unicorn bucking. And as with all of our custom guns, they went in and made sure to maximize the efficiency of the gun by reshimming it and also correcting the angle of engagement to make it a very efficient firing gun. Now, shooting this is really nice. Just this trigger is pretty sensitive, not overly sensitive where you could like spam the hell out of it, but it can take an 11-1 pretty much safely out of the box, and it can basically keep up with your trigger finger within reason. Moving past the gun itself, and also to round out this Tactical Gearheads loadout, I am running an OD green pair of Condor Paladin tactical pants. Now, I really fell in love with these pants, not only because of how affordable they are, but also how packed with features that it comes with, and it adds a lot of value to you as an airsoft player. Now, one of the features that stands out to you when you pick these pants up is that they actually come with this nice ruggedized knee texturing. Now, might not mean much to you when you first put them on, but once you start to take a knee out there on the airsoft field, a lot of times whether it's in gravel, sand, or just floor with BBs on it, having that extra bit of traction will help you create a more stable shooting platform, and you'll start to notice it as you continue to run and use it. And also another feature is that there's Velcro here on the bottom of these knee textured area where you could actually slide on or slide inside a Condor webbed knee pad, which actually will add a lot more comfort, especially if you're taking a knee on a bunch of BBs. A few other denoting features I like to point out about these Paladin pants is that number one, it comes with a lot of pockets. Pretty much that's pretty standard for a lot of tactical style khaki pants out there on the market. So you are going to get a ton of different pockets, whether you want to stuff extra magazines, BBs, other tools, snacks even on the airsoft field. Another cool feature that I see on these pants that you usually only see on very high-end, high-quality pants is that at the back of the knee there's an adjustment strap with Velcro, so you can actually tighten down your knee area so that way the knee pads won't move around as much when you run with it and eventually take a knee with them, which I think is really cool. So that pretty much rounds out my Blood Diamond Inspired Tactical Gearheads for today. Now, everything you see here that I'm wearing or running here on my person, minus the shirt, of course, is available here at Airsoft GI. And all the tactical gear, all the clothing that you see here is actually very affordable. This is all very what we would consider like baseline beginner kit. I don't really like using that word, but it is actually very affordable. So you can actually pick this up for a very, very reasonable cost. It's actually a lot more affordable to run something like this as opposed to, like a modernized tactical, like military style kit, just because there's not a lot of accessories that you need to have on you. You don't need to run a crazy helmet with all these accessories. You don't need to run a plate carrier with all these pouches. You don't need to run like a crazy high-speed belt, again, with all this stuff on it. This is all very minimal, very simple, very low to the ground, and it will allow you to actually perform really well out on the field without busting open the piggy bank. And this gun especially, this CAR-15 over here, again, as you can see, not a lot of accessories, not a lot of stuff that you need to do to it. So if you guys are questioning or wondering or curious about running retro guns, I would highly recommend it, especially in this day and age when airsoft guns unfortunately are starting to go up in price. So if you want to save your money and get a lot more bang for your buck, I highly recommend checking a retro gun like the ENC CAR-15 out on our website, so that way you guys can save money and also perform really well out on the field. Now, this particular CAR-15 here is actually going to be a custom gun on our website, so make sure to check it out when it drops. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Tactical Gearheads. If you guys like what you see, make sure to hit that like button down below, as well as that red subscribe button, so you guys don't miss out on any content that we drop every week. Now, Cisco is doing a live stream giveaway every Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to tune into that live stream. If you guys want to join the live stream giveaway and be entered for a chance to win a ton of crazy guns that we're giving away, make sure to click the link down below, so that way you guys get notified on all the rules and how to properly enter the live stream giveaway. This is Boaz with Airsoft GI, and we'll see you next time.
Acha, you are a dead man.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Hey.
I heard you giving away free airsoft guns.
Oh, you want a free airsoft gun?
Oh, I'd love a free airsoft gun from you.
Oh, then it's really easy. All you have to do is place an order at airsoftgi.com, $20 and up, and you'll be automatically entered into my live stream giveaway.
Automatically?
Automatically. I live stream every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time from home, where I answer questions, talk to you, and even play games with you.
Oh, you be playing games with us?
That's right. And you have to be there at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the deadline for when I call the winner. And if you're not there to claim your prize, if you are the lucky winner, then the prize gets moved on to the next live stream.
Oh, so then that means I could win more than one gun?
That's right.
Oh, I love it when you give away more than one gun.
I love it when you don't touch my face. Okay.
Well, we'll do that.
Okay, please stop touching my face.